There's a couple things I prayed for when I was younger that I remember specifically praying for as a young guy. One was to win a motocross championship, and the other was to be, a famous musician, if you will. I met a guy named Dwayne Hagar. I was introduced to him. He's one of the most well-known bass coaches in Dallas. Dwayne kind of took me in as a mentor and a coach, but at that point in my life, I was very difficult as a student, I can only imagine. We moved from Richardson out to Farmersville, and I began the process of looking for a new church out this way, which was difficult. The Lord led me to Pathway, and I noticed there wasn't a bass player. The person in charge at the time, I'd made mention to him that, I noticed y'all didn't have a bass player. Maybe you could give me a few songs, I could go home and learn them, and I could come up there and play on the stage with y'all, He asked me if I was a bass player, and I told him it depends on who you ask, pretty much. Gets kind of difficult, kind of emotional, but the things that the devil threw at me were pretty tough. Were pretty tough, to say the least. Right around the beginning of my relationship with the church, as far as the worship band, my hand went numb. Not only was my hand numb, I couldn't it burned. And I spent many hours practicing when I couldn't feel my hand, and when it hurt, when it burned, because I knew that the Lord had something for me with this ability that he's given me that I wasn't about to give up. And I remember my wife finally talked me into going to her neurosurgeon, and she looked at me and she evaluated with me, and she said, first thing we're gonna do is put you in braces on both hands. We're gonna have you do that for 30 days. And then when you're done, we'll come back and we'll reevaluate it and see kind of what's going on. My immediate thought was my guitar. It had been the whole time. Music was a part of my life that got me back going through trying to get the medicine, everything on check. It was my drive, it was my passion, it was my what made me get up, do something. So when they told me that I was gonna have to have those braces for 30 days, I didn't see how I was gonna do that. When they told me I wasn't gonna be able to play anymore, a lot of people started praying for me. I started really talking to God. I was like, God, why would you bring me this far? Why would I put all this time and all this effort in playing at Pathway only to my hand to go numb and me not be able to play music? It doesn't make sense. I'm not buying it. I feel inevitably what happened was I came to a crossroad in my life where there was some real black and white decisions that had to be made. I reached out to the doctor one more time. In a roundabout way, I said, will I be able to play my guitar again? And I'll never forget the response, because the response was air guitar. As funny as it sounds, it was at that point that I took those braces off and I put it in the Lord's hands. I took those casts off and I continued to work very diligently, practice very diligently. And today I'm healed. I have complete feeling in my hand. I can play my bass. It's an absolute miracle. So it's just a blessing to be able to be here, see what the power of prayer does. If you ask the doctors and stuff, they would say I wasn't gonna play again. It's a blessing and an honor to be able to play. And I look at it like that.